Howdy, folks. This is season 1, episode 14 of Scrolling with Charlie, or AKA the Spamster. Mark Stelling just called me the Spamster. Apparently, he cannot spell, so. Anyway, yeah. Anywho, okay, we're going to jump right in because I'm not funny unless you count looks. So, but my camera's on because I run the show, and ha ha. We've got Edgar Natras and Donna Presley watching. Thank y'all. Greenwich from Nevada, says Edgar Natras, and I forget where Donna Presley is. Forgive me. But since we have people on the panel, I got to kind of acknowledge them. So I'm just going to go down the line from left to right. Oh, God. Mark Stelling, somebody knock him out of the room. Okay. It's things the viewers can't see. We have 0 viewers, it says, but we just saw 2 of them comments, so they have to be doing something. Okay. John Schaffner is now on my poop list. Okay, Chase Noble, are you with us? I think we lost him just as I went to him, so I will come back to you, Chase, if you can hear me. John Schaffner up in New York. Tell everybody where they can find you and stuff, all right?
Well, you can find me sitting right here in my chair, usually where I am. The only thing I've got is my Facebook page under John Schaffner. I'm here in Canastota, New York, about 30 miles east of Syracuse, New York. Right in the middle of all the nice, lovely snow we've been getting in the cold weather. It was minus 17 here last night. Got about 3.5 feet of snow on the ground right at the moment. But thank God I don't have to plow any of it. So anyway, that's it.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to Mr. Mark Stallings. I believe he's in Nevada. Not Stallings. Nabbit, I always mix them up. Sherman. Sorry.
I am in Nebraska. Hi, I'm Mark Sherman. Find me on Facebook at Mark Sherman or Sherman Scrollworks. Like I said, I'm in Bellevue, Nebraska, so I've been scrolling for several years now and enjoy being here.
I appreciate it. And I meant to say Nebraska, not Nevada, but I done screwed that one up. Now here's our favorite naked scroller, Mark Stallings. You have to unmute yourself, sir. There you go.
Hello, I'm Mark Stallings. I'm in Missouri. It's too cold to be scrolling naked here today. We've had snow and ice on the ground, but I can be found on Facebook under Mark Stallings. I can be found on YouTube under Spiritual Splinters Woodshop, and also on Facebook, my page is Spiritual Splinters Woodshop.
And for what it's worth, I don't know if it was only me that noticed it or if it happened to everybody, but it seemed like your audio and video was lagging just a tiny bit. Did anybody else see that, or was it just me? Okay, we got a thumbs up. That means it's all you, Mark. Just letting you know that in case you needed to reboot or something. But we don't have a full room. We lost Chase Noble, but I'm sure he'll be back if he gets it working. Mr. Rick Hutchison is in Grimes, Iowa. If you want to stalk him, write to him and get his address and come on by and look at his museum.
Yeah, Rick Hutchison in Iowa. Website scrollsaws.com, Facebook, and YouTube under Rick Hutchison.
Thank you very much. And you look thrilled to be talking. It's like, God, we got to do this roll call crap again. Thank you, Rick. And now I got our lovely co-host, Russ Clarity, in what I call, whatchamacallit, Florida, because I can never remember where in Florida. Did we lose Russell, too?
No, you didn't lose me. You had to do something real quick.
Okay.
I'm in Mulberry, Florida.
Mulberry?
Mulberry, yeah. It's just south of Lakeland, Florida, for anybody that knows anything about Florida. Halfway between Tampa and Orlando.
All right. Third generation firefighter.
Yeah, carpenter, woodworker, yeah. Been scrolling for about 30-plus years, woodworking pretty much all my life. Started when I was knee-high to a grasshopper. You can reach me at simplywoodencreations.com, Facebook, Simply Wooden Creations, and also on YouTube under Simply Wooden Creations. And if you go there, like my Facebook page, and subscribe to me on YouTube.
God, Spaminator 2. I'll come to you just a second, Scott, but Chase,
I learned for the best.
I love you too, baby. Chase Noble, if your audio and video is working, tell everybody where you're from and where they can stalk you and find you on social media. And I think
right.
yeah,
it's working. It was cutting out there for a second. Well, I'm Chase. I'm here in Utah.
Okay, I heard Utah and your name is Chase. Everything else muted out. You're really lagging really bad.
Okay, technical difficulties. Yeah. So I have the CN Woodwork page on YouTube.
Okay.
And then you can find me Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, and a few other places as well.
10-4, thank you, sir. You drug a little bit, but we were able to make it out. Scott Sanders is in Oklahoma. I don't remember what county or city or town, but it starts with an S, I think. I could be wrong completely. Scott Sanders, why don't you just tell me to shut up so you can say it yourself?
I'm actually from Coweta, Oklahoma.
That started with an S.
I've been scroll sawing for about 11 years. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube under Scott Sanders.
Good deal. Thank you, sir. I'm going to stop guessing. I'm Charles Deering. I never know where the hell I am, but I'm in Gatesville, Texas, where it's actually only been in the 50s for lows, Fahrenheit, for those of you that deal with Celsius. On YouTube, I'm Charles Deering Scroll, where you'll be watching this video most likely unless it's been embedded somewhere. And Facebook, I'm the Charles Deering, and all the other social media crap, you just have to guess, I guess, because I'm too lazy and don't remember where the heck everything is. So we're going to jump right into our topics. So I don't say anything more stupid. Oh, okay, we're going to start making it a regular show occurrence to do a show and tell. So if you happen to have anything suitable to show and tell, yeah, I was the only one that laughed on that because everybody else is muted and it probably wasn't funny. But anyway, Jason Noble, do you have anything you'd like to show anybody that you've been working on?
Been pretty busy, so I haven't done much scroll.
10-4, just so you know, you're still lagging pretty dang bad, and your picture froze. You look like a zombie for a second. No offense. John Schaffner, do you have anything you want to show off, sir? After you unmute yourself.
Damn. This thing is lagging big time here. No, actually, I haven't even been out in the shop at all this week. It's been so damn cold here. You know, it's by the time I get the place heated up, it's time to come in for lunch. So I've just sat here and did some designs on Inkscape, and that's about all I've done all week.
Would you like to show those designs? To show what you've been doing, or is it?
Yeah, I can give you one quick one here. Should ought to have it taped together, but I don't. Says our veterans, all gave some and some gave all.
Okay, can you hold up a tiny bit higher because of the thumbnails? Very good, very good. I like that. More of the word with them words.
Yep, I love doing this. I'm glad we did a couple of tutorials on this because it really inspired me to do a few of my own designs instead of buying them. So, thank you very much, gentlemen.
No problem. And I hope people out there will still continue to buy from the folks that are selling them, just so it doesn't look like we had an agenda going. Donna Presley popped in the room. Or do you have audio or video, Donna? Well, okay, no. So we'll just look at her pretty Jesus picture. That happens to be my design, I think. Spaminator, Spaminator. Okay. Mark not Stallings. Dag Blabbit. When do y'all change your name? Mark Sherman out of Nebraska, not Nevada. Do you have anything you'd like to show, sir?
This is what I got busy with this week. Charles Deering pattern. I got 4 of them made so far.
Very good.
This one's done out of oak plywood, 1/4 inch. And what I just spent a couple hours this morning is this one, courtesy Sheila Landry and Keith. So yeah, this is a free pattern for veterans. So It was advertised on Steve Good's site, so I emailed Sheila and asked for my free pattern, and it came the other day, so had to cut it, and it'll be on my wall pretty soon.
Yes, Keith Benton is the one that's designing those, and for what it's worth, it's only free to veterans if you can prove you're a veteran.
Exactly.
I tried to get in, but my hearing was not good enough, and every time I tell people that, they say, what? That's funny. Anyway, Mark Stallings, do you have anything you'd like to show off, sir, that will not get you thrown off the show?
Well, I just finished one today, or well, it's gluing up right now, so I can't hold it up, but I can screen share and show you a picture of it.
10-4, let's do that.
Let's go on our acid trip.
Yeah. Compliments of Google Plus. Hey, that's me. That's very good. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. That's what. Okay.
There's what I finished up today.
Jacksonville Jaguars. Very good, sir.
And I did the painting on that.
Very good. Some people say no paint would work, but with scrolling you can get away with painting some of it, I believe.
Well, to make that one look right, because I'm also going to come in here, one at the point, and then one over here, and put brass coat hooks on it. It's going to be a coat rack and a hat rack for a friend. So.
Sorry. I got the yawn disease, so that was not a hint of anything rude. Thank you very much, Mark. Rick Hutchison, what you been working on? It's probably been turning, but for the sake of fairness, I got to ask.
Yeah, well, I've been turning, and then I played with the CNC the other day making pistol grips for a 45 model 1911 that is going to some, I forget what he called it, some veterans thing where they're going to sell these guns. And some of the guns are valued at $4,000 for the gun.
Good lordy.
I'm off for something for a veterans thing, but I'm going to be making Purple Heart grips for these guns, I think. That's
awesome. My dad's a veteran of Vietnam and a very proud son. Anyway, thank you, Rick. Mr. Russell Clarity, I'm going to assume a lot of it's behind you, but they say about assuming. Tell everybody what you've been working on or show it all off.
Well, this is one of the new things I've been working on.
Been working on Jesus.
Yep. I made this pattern and cut that this week, and then this is just a little bit of a different twist on the other ones that I've been doing. Instead of making them the letter solid, I did just an outline, hollowed them out.
Yeah, I like that. I'll definitely be buying that design once you put it out.
Yeah, I think I do like this one a little bit better than the ones like this that are solid.
Yeah, that's if you decide to put it out, no pressure. But
and then this is a welcome sign. I'm a member of the Moose Lodge, the local Moose Lodge, and I make these welcome signs, and they auction them off for the Moose Lodge for. So that's another thing. This one actually I hadn't worked on this week. This is one I did a while back, and we're having a special get together here next weekend, and so that one will be auctioned off, and they've done pretty well. I've gotten as high as $350 for the Moose Lodge for them.
Good lordy. Yeah, Russ uses his bench like I use my wall behind me, so we got that in common. But his is more current, and by golly, I'm going to move on so I don't say something stupid. Thank you, Russell. Or Russ, what are you going to be called? Mr. Scott out of something that starts with a K, Oklahoma. Do you have anything you'd like to show? Oh, look at that.
I started this one Monday, finished it up Monday.
I love that font. What is, if you don't mind, what is that cursive font?
Tigers, Kawita Tigers.
No, I mean, what is the name of that font that you use for Tigers?
Oh, Birds of Paradise, I believe.
Do you happen to remember what website that was from?
You can go to defont.com.
Okay. I'm writing that down because I really love that font. I like the way it's kind of italicized.
Today.
A little bit higher. Scott, Sonia Sanders. I'm guessing that's a husband and wife thing. Good deal. Very good.
Russell kind of inspired me to try this out.
See, Russ, you inspired at least 2 people today. Feel good about yourself, sir.
Hey, what can I say?
That's very good, Scott. You got anything else to show?
That's it.
All righty, 10-4. We're going to roll on over to the funny guy, which is not here today, but I'm going to take his place. I haven't been working on these, but I might as well show you. That's a horse. That's fan blades. Those are 3 individual fan blades that were stack cut. I'm going to go ahead and screen share because I messed with that in photo crap. I don't even know how to word it. But I'm going to screen share and show you how those 3 blades would look if they were turned into a fan. And that's what they would look like as a fan. So I would basically have to stack cut 3 and 5 times to do it without getting really overly frustrated. That's that. And so let me go back and turn off the acid trip. And there's the rest of my stuff. I'm running out of stuff to put on the wall. So God only knows what will be there next week. Thank everybody for that. I haven't had the Q&A section open. I need to open that because I'm organized. Donna Presley said she had a bad connection, so she's just going to watch. Thanks for trying, though, Donna. Edgar Natras says, been in the low to mid 70s here this past week, and I don't remember where he is because I've slept since then, but I'm jealous. I think maybe he's the one that's in Nevada. That's probably what it is. Yeah, because I know everybody watching cares. We have 15 viewers, so I'm going to move on so we don't go down to 14. Okay, did anybody notice when I announced the show that I asked y'all to try to do a shop tour via video? Did anybody prepare for that? I can go down the line and ask, or just look for, never mind, everybody's frozen up in the thumbnails. Okay, so we got 1 yes. Everybody write in the chat section whether or not you did it, so I'll know who to go to. So far we have 1 yes. Do I hear 2? Do I hear 3? I'm not a good auctioneer. Okay, there's a bunch of yeses, so I'm just gonna, I don't remember which one said I ain't hating, baby. Okay, John Schaffner, you said you didn't have one, correct? Okay, he shook his head. So, go ahead, John. Thought you were gonna say something.
It's just been too damn cold.
I hear you. We don't hate you, Edgar. It's in the Q&A section. Okay, Mark Sherman. I didn't screw it up that time. From Nebraska, not Nevada. Show us your little video, and he says it's a short one. So I'm going to present to everyone and let you show off your shop. And you're probably going to have to narrate it because audio sucks and loud when we do these things.
All right, can you see the shop? Can you see the video?
I still see you. You haven't screen shared yet.
Oh, it says stop. So hold on a second. Try it again.
There we go. I see a maroon vehicle and some shelving.
All right, this is getting to my shop. So we have a 5-car garage that we transferred the 2 of the stalls into my shop. So on the left is the 3-car area, and on the right is the shop. So I'll hit play here and pause it as I go. It's only a couple-minute video, or minute 45. We got double doors. First thing you see is the necessity in Nebraska is my 220-volt heater. So I have that, maybe if you can see it here, I have an extension cord that goes into my dryer outlet inside the house. So that's the only way I got 220 out there right now, because I'm very short of power. This is my wood wall. Don't have much of a selection here because I've been busy cutting.
I like that lumber rack. It looks nice and sturdy.
It's very sturdy, yeah. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a whole lot of wood on it, so.
Makes it last longer. Wow, you got some decent tools in there, Sparky.
A lot of this stuff is courtesy Craigslist, so.
Good lordy.
I have a Makita planer that's sitting on just a little roll-around thing right now until I make a stand for it. My really crappy Craftsman table saw. Sorry, Sears, but it is crappy. Okay, the guy that I bought the Shot Fox bandsaw, he also sold this miter saw station for like $75 or so, so I couldn't pass that up. So
Wow.
that was my first haul in my truck that I got this year. Fortunately, I have a small Hitachi saw. It doesn't. It's only like a 6-inch width for boards I can cut. So there's 3 of my plywood projects there. The Eagle, one up top and 2 on the bottom. Still drying out, and my Yoda's up there. That's where I've been storing some of my stuff.
It looks like you use a French cleat system to hold up your shop vac.
I'm just starting to, yeah. It's a very good system. And since I just got laid off, I had to stop with the French cleats and bought a cheap pegboard here. So, and then I got cabinets from the kitchen. We pulled out some kitchen cabinets after we moved into our house, and I utilize them. Well, we have a big pantry unit and a couple other things. So, I have a rigid. Oscillating spindle sander with a belt sander there. My favorite pride and joy here is my Excalibur 30-inch scroll saw. I really love this thing.
Wow. That is a pretty saw.
Getting a lot of use out of it. There's all my power right there. 2 outlets.
I hear you.
A Shop Fox oscillating drill press, so I can use that as an oscillating spindle sander also, but I haven't yet.
I didn't know they made drill presses with that option.
Yeah, it's the Shop Fox model, so that's one reason I bought it, but then I ended up getting the rigid oscillating. And then my 14-inch bandsaw from Shop Fox also, that I do all my resaw cutting on there. But I still have yet to get the new blades, Russ, so I'm working on that. So. And back to my wood pile. That's about it. It's about 16 by 20 or so, amount of 2 stalls, so it serves me well. So.
I'm jealous. I'm pretty sure I'll be jealous if Rick is able to show his, but I don't know if we had Chase Noble when I started this, and I'm still not sure if we have him. And I think I already went to John Schaffner. And so let's go to Mark Stallings, and I believe he said he had a video.
Yeah, I got one, but my organization's about like yours, Charles. So.
Good. Dan in Pennsylvania has put up a link for us on the panel to see if we wanted to see a shop tour of his. So go ahead, Mark Stallings. Oh, I got to present it to everybody. Okay, good. No offense, but you may have to talk kind of loud due to the background noise where you are.
Okay. Can you see my video starting?
Yeah, I see a 2x4 sticking out.
Yeah, now I got to find the play button. I think it's hiding under here. There it is. Okay, what I've got here, I had to build a room in my garage because one of my kids moved back home. And so I've got my wood stored up under there, some of the wood. That room's 8 foot by 8 foot, and it was built out of all scrap lumber that I'd acquired for free. Here you see the spiritual splinter sign that I made. That was my first attempt at a sign. Pause it. There, I'll play it a little further. Over here is my wood rack. I built one. I'm going to have to put another center support in here because that's starting to sag pretty good.
Just a little bit.
This is my wood pile. So when I need something, I've got to dig either under the building or over here. This is in a 2-car garage, but I've kind of lost a little bit of space there with my daughter moving home. But she's got her place, and she'll be moving out here hopefully Tuesday. So I'll get all my garage back. But my wife's going to turn that room into a sewing room.
All right.
There's some of the free wood that I've gotten. That is a Dremel scroll saw back here that the neighbor gave me. I got to get it running for my son. There's some cabinets that I built. I just ain't got them finished yet, but those are hung by the French cleat system.
Alrighty.
And then there's my toolboxes. I got a little aggravated the other day because I was out there working and broke my scroll saw blade, so I went over to the toolbox to get another one, and I was out of them. So that was a little aggravating.
Yeah, that'll make for a good move.
There you can see my Harbor Freight drill press. It does exactly what I need it to do. There's my Harbor Freight belt and disc sander. That does what I need it to do.
He keeps saying that so nobody accuses him of needing an anchor.
There is my 16-inch or 18-inch quarter cable scroll saw. That was the pattern that I was working on there of that Jaguar that I showed you the picture of.
Uh-huh.
Um, there is my Harbor Freight miter saw, and I built that miter saw station there. It's on wheels so that I can move it around. And you thought your table saw was bad, Mark? This is my table saw. This is an Ace 10-inch table saw, and it is. I can't complain because it's free, but you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Over here, what you see there, that is a 4 foot by 4 foot piece. I use that workshop or workmate there to set that on to use as a workbench since I'm kind of limited on space. But my goal is to take and build that as my outfeed table so that I can put it up to my table saw and be able to use it as an outfeed table. So,
Alrighty.
but that's pretty much mine.
All right.
I started with the foot pedal. I finally got me a foot pedal. I really like that thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely handy.
Oh yeah, I started using it and I really like it. So, and there's the rest of what I was working on there that I got finished up today. So.
Oh, I didn't realize it had that border around it. I thought
Yes, all the Jaguar was cut out. That's the lettering there for the Jaguar.
Okay.
But the lettering was cut out separate, and it's all kind of got a 3D type depth to it. It's done on 1/2-inch Baltic birch, and then it's got 1/4-inch Baltic birch for the lettering and the Jaguar. And there's my paste wax. I finally found some.
Yay! Thank you very much for that, Mark. We appreciate it. And Rick Hutchison, I know, if nothing else, he has a tour, I believe, on his website of his shop. It depends on how he wants to present it.
I can go through it here.
Righty.
Get up here to screen share.
Oh, I got to present you. God, I keep forgetting that. Okay, there we go.
Shop. All right, this is coming in the door of my shop. Okay, let's see. I got to shut the volume off here. Let's hide that. Let me get the volume shut down. Okay, this is coming in the front door, and I've got a restroom here. Back here, I've got the 6 club woodlays that I got rid of now. I don't do the classes anymore. These boxes are all full of Formica patterns that I used to use to trace for different ladies at craft shows. Let's see. So on my wood gear clocks up here, I think this thing's going.
Looks to be. Welcome back, Chase Noble, by the way.
Okay, this is as you get back to the end. I got a refrigerator with pop, microwave, the red toolbox. This is the table where I do most of my work. My truck parks here. This is the turning that I've done. And now we're looking back out to the door that you came in. Okay, there's the microwave. A lot of just scroll saw stuff stuck up here.
All over the place.
Red toolbox is my glass bead stuff. Some reason there I'm coming back to the coach. I don't know why. Down below I've just got all kinds of wood and scraps and projects and a little bit of everything. There's my 2 scroll saws right behind the table, so I usually sit here and work at this chair and just spin around and I'm at the scroll saws. TV up overhead. Now there's a big dust collector. Okay, this is looking up beside the truck. I got 10 scroll saws here that I don't use, the Excaliburs, the Eclipse and everything. 18-inch jet band saw, my dust collector, the 2 scroll saws, a Craftsman or Delta contractor saw, the computer, and my CNC router that is run with the computer. Okay, this is from my table, kind of, and more junk sitting up on the shelves and scrap wood. This is back into my office, a window that's through there, a vinyl cutter, so if I want to do any vinyl signs or anything. My wood rack over here, I've got a little bit of wood on. I think I show a better picture of it. No, maybe not.
Just a little bit of wood.
This is down the counter. This is my sanding station here. We've got disc sander, 2 disc sanders, pad sander, a little bit of everything. This is where I do most of my clamping and gluing, is in this area. Performex drum sander, just more tools. There's my sand flea that I use for a table extension. We've got the 15-inch Delta planer, Craftsman drill press, big Delta sander behind it. Okay, I guess we jump back. My grinder for sharpening my lathe tools. My wood lathe is back behind the curtains here. Router table back here, another router table mounted in the table saw. Okay, I've got one of my smaller wood lathes that was sitting up here. I've got 2 other lathes, but I don't usually have them out. And then back here to the side, I must not swing around to it, I've got a spindle sander. Yeah, there we go. That I don't use. And as you can see in the background there, a lot of wood for turning and the scroll saws and stuff. And the CNC again, back down the aisle where we came from. And then as you come around the corner, you go into my office. And there's a little bit better shot of some of the wood rack. This is the desk in my office, room that I use for storage. It used to be my gun shop area. Cut out patterns and stuff. Patterns, books, magazines, just a few.
Just a couple.
Yeah, well, there's another rack in back filled up. Color copier, office copier, extra toner and stuff. And then that's a laser printer that I sent down to my son's room now. And then here's where I'm sitting right now, is at this computer. And then I can look out from here out into the shop, and I can see my TV up here. I may get it up there, I don't know. This is upstairs in my storage room, I call it. It used to be a display room, kind of display stuff. Some of the stuff that I've made over the years. This is a lot of my turn stuff, and it's twice that full now.
My God.
There's some clocks and stuff there in the background. A little bit more turn stuff. This aisle here now is piled about 3 foot high now. Some of the old scroll saw projects that I did, still stacked up on shelves. This is all turn stuff down this side. And I ran out of room here, so I started using the floor in boxes. But like I say, in front of this shelf now, I've got boxes stacked up to about this second shelf most of the way down this aisle.
My God, Rick.
Some Christmas ornaments, more of the scroll saw stuff that I've done. On around the corner, some more of the scroll saw stuff. There, Charlie, you like the buggies? There's the buggies back over here. Right in there, small buggies and large buggies. A few clocks that I used to do. I've still got all the patterns, still do them, but not as often anymore. And we come on down, and I got a little bit more scrolled stuff back here in this corner. And then we start into some of the old saws, a few other projects are in the corner. Now we're going up into the 200 antique scroll saws that I've got, a little bit more scrolled stuff here. And little miniature saws and jigsaw juniors with the balloons on it. Most of these are belt-driven, bench-mounted, I guess you would say. Some of them are halfway newer saws. Some of the bigger saws, now we come around, most of these are pedal and treadle saws from back in the 1800s. There's 2 Barnesville Iapedes there and a little bit of everything. This is a saw, table saw with a tilt table for adjustment. That's a wood lathe and then a scroll saw, and it's all one thing, and it's line shaft driven by a belt. I don't know if I show the bottom of it or not. Made around 1900 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Yeah, there we go. There's the line shaft drive for it. That's one of the Fretmaster saws. There's some more scrolled stuff there in the background. Okay, I guess I do come up to it. The chandeliers that I did, if you ever see the chandelier in Wildwood catalog, this is it right here. That's the one they picture. And then back down the stairs over here. And a little bit more turn stuff scattered within the saws. This is actually the reproduction of the Barnesville IFP. A guy out of Kansas called me and asked me if I wanted to buy it, and I did. So that's my shop, I guess.
Well, folks, we clearly need to take up a donation for Rick because he needs tools. My God, Rick, you need to have one hell of a yard sale or get a big old 18-wheeler and send it to Texas, because you said you had lathes and scroll saws you're not using. Just saying. No, I'm a pure envy there. My God, wow, I'm spaceless.
I got a question for Rick.
Well,
back in the beginning, you were talking about you showed that shelf with all the boxes. You said there was Formica in there for patterns for tracing.
Yeah.
Is you're talking about you use Formica like you would put on a countertop and cut a pattern out of it and then use it to trace other stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. I could go out and grab a box here, but all the boxes are numbered by or labeled by what they are, like Christmas and stuff, and I've got angels and snowmen and words and all kinds of stuff in there. And when I was cutting for the craft ladies, I had about 12 ladies I was cutting for at one time. They would come out and say, I need Christmas stuff, and I'd just pull out the Christmas box and dump it on the table, and they'd pick up the patterns and say, I want 10 of these, and I want 5 of those, and I want 20 of this. And, you know, I'd start tracing them out and cutting them for it.
Why did you use Formica?
Because it lasted.
Okay.
I mean, there's some of them that I've traced hundreds and hundreds of patterns off the Formica, and you can get a lot of Formica in one box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's so thin, but yet it's so durable.
Yeah, yeah. I don't use them too much anymore. I've thought about maybe donating them to the school or something for the grade school kids to use to trace around. I mean, I've got hearts and leaves and animals.
What did you use to cut the Formica to make the pattern? A scroll saw?
Scroll saw with a number 2 reverse blade, and just cut them out.
Cool. Never thought about that. That's pretty cool.
I'm still speechless. I mean, my God.
Let me go out and grab a box of the patterns.
10-4. I still wish you'd admit you're my long lost father. I'm just saying. Dagnabbit, I'm scared to show my tour after that. Wow, where do you go from there, Daddy? Russ,
I saw your tour, so I'd be.
Yeah, you'd be nervous. Okay,
I got
we got
right here and see if I can get it over here. Get it turned right. There we go. See, so I've got hearts. I mean, when they say they want hearts, I just got a whole box full of hearts and all different shapes and leaves and everything in there. And this one was marked hearts, fruits, vegetables. And so they could just go through there and, pick out what they wanted. Small leaves, big leaves. Just a little bit of everything. Hearts, small hearts. I mean, whatever they wanted. Apples. But, you can get a lot of patterns in one box with Formica, and I probably got 40 or 50 boxes out there.
God bless America. Thank you, Rick.
I would be willing to say that one box probably has 50, 60 patterns in it.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Yeah, maybe even more, but wow.
I mean, like I say, I've got boxes and boxes of the patterns out there. And those were just the ones that, I've gotten Formica because I used a lot of them.
Well,
That's a fantastic idea. I kind of use that a little bit in some of my stuff. I do some yard ornaments, like ducks and different things for the. I cut out and make, and so you can stick them out in your yard. And I decided to do that with those because they were so easy. Rather than printing them on paper, I just made the outline, and actually I used quarter-inch Baltic birch plywood and just cut out the patterns, and I just come in and trace them, and boom, off I go. But never thought about the Formica idea. That's a good idea.
Absolutely.
I had a buddy that did Formica work, and I would tell him, Jess, I need some more Formica, and I'd take my Suburban down, and he would stack Formica in it about a foot to a foot and a half deep, and say, here, there you go, is that enough? And so I've got all kinds of Formica.
Well, thank you very much, my dearest sweet father, for that wonderful shop tour. I'll keep you in my prayers, dear Daddy. I know I'm the only one that thinks that's funny. He probably vomits after the show each time I go there. But anyway, bloody heck. Russ, if you can top that, I'll give you $1. By God, Russ, just wow. Show us your shop. Did we lose Russ? No, you're muted, Russ.
I said I can't top that. Nope.
I can't either. My God.
So
I love you, Daddy. Go ahead, Russ.
I'm glad I went before him.
well, if you're going to be number one, son, Charles, I'll be number 2.
I don't know if he'll claim either one of us.
No, he's got a nice shop. I will open in a minute. And I don't have a video, but what I did was take some pictures today because I'm in a major reorganization. I've thrown a lot of stuff away and major change in my interior and the big and little shop, so to speak. My pictures I took is of my little shop. It's the one that's actually heated and air conditioned. And then the other shop is it's 3 walls and an open end, and I haven't got pictures of that yet because I'm doing reorganization out there. So I'll go through and just show you the pictures I took.
10-4. Let me present you to everybody. You doing okay, Daddy, while he's setting up? Do you need anything, Dad? Oh, crap on a stick. Okay, we got screen share going on.
Is it showing?
Just showing Rick Hutchison right now.
All right, can you see that?
Daddy. Yes, I can see pictures now.
Okay. This is the my main, what I want to call assembly bench. And I do most of my work right here. This is the Dale Earnhardt stuff I was talking to you about, Charlie. Up here. Yeah, that's a little statue of him with all of his trophies. That's a little remote control car and a couple other things. And then, so I got chisels there that I use. These are small clamps, various sizes that I use over here. This is one of my laptops that I use for, it's specifically used to, I have a DV camera, which is right here, and I use it for that. It has to be an older laptop because the DV is kind of a little old, even though it takes quality video, it's kind of an older format, but my newer laptops won't even work with the DV camera, so I keep this laptop around just to download if I use that camera. This is a drawer. This is where I keep my pen nailer and my brad nailer in it because I use them quite a bit. So,
is that the bench you're sitting at right now?
Yes, and I got a picture to show you. But and also I do my patterns behind me, which would be on the back side of this. This is half of the shop I'm showing you. That's a little side of the shop. The shop is 20 by 28 in this part that is heated and air conditioned. So I'm going to show you 10 by 28 of it because the other side I'm totally redoing. Got it. You just don't. My shop on that side looks like your shop now, Charles. So that's the reason I'm not showing it. So anyway, this is where also I have the little stand that I show in my video where I spray my patterns with the adhesive, and this is my paper cutter up here that I bring down and lay down on and crop my pattern to get rid of the excess that I don't need. So that's the first. Got to figure out how to get. Well, guess what? I can't change pictures because the Google Hangout thing is in the way. There we go.
There we go.
I had to move it out of my way. I'm like, where the? All right, this is the to the left. That picture right there. This is to the left. This is that same laptop. This is a toolbox. This is my 42-inch LCD flat screen TV. This surround sound, Blu-ray, cable. I have a 800 something channel cable, Blu-ray, DVD, surround sound.
Obviously, we have Daddy number 2 going on right now. Go ahead.
This is a little assortment of movies. When I was a kid, I was raised. I used to love Lost in Space. This is their entire. I have their entire movies, all Lost in Space movies, in a collection, and I throw them in there and watch them every once in a while just to reminisce. This toolbox here is just safety glasses and a few other things. There's the toolbox. I got drill bits in here, pliers, wrenches. It's a typical toolbox. I have these screwdrivers out because I'm constantly grabbing screwdrivers. So these are all sitting out here ready available. Just storage underneath here. This is a bunch of bags with rags in them that I use all the time. I just kind of like tuck them over there in the corner. This is the second station that I use for assembly. The first station is nothing but wood. I don't tear anything over there that has any oil or any grease or anything like that on it that might contaminate the wood. If I'm going to tear something apart that I need to repair, like my scroll saw or anything like that, it comes to this station here, and I use it. There's various screws and nuts and bolts, a lot of wooden wheels and stuff that I use for some of my projects, hand saws. That's just, like I said, this is this saw here is about 25 years old. This is a pin end blade saw that I've had for about 20 plus years. It still works. I even set it up here, and if I'm going to do a bunch of outline work, like Rick was showing those apples and fruits and stuff and hearts, this thing right here will do great even with pin blades to cut those outlines. So I set it up here on this bench and use it. This right here is one of the greatest inventions known to man of this era. This is my drill doctor. That thing, man, you couldn't get that away from me. You couldn't drag it out. You'd have to take it away from my cold, dead hands.
Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm serious because, I mean, any drill bit, if it starts acting up, I just bring it over here to the drill doctor and put it in there and sharpen it, and boom, I'm off to go. So, let's see if I can get down here, and this is giving me a little bit of...
Your second tray popped up is what it was.
This is these are all my smaller clamps that I use inside the shop here. The big clamps are out there in the other shop, but this is just all my clamps. Mainly the reason I took this. These speakers are above my scroll saw, which I'll show you in a second, so that it shoots sound down to my scroll saw, part of my surround sound system.
Gotta have the tunes.
And you can see I have a very jungle area out in my window. That's outside. I have we'll go back. That's a bird feeder outside my window out there, and I enjoy standing there and watching them. This window is tinted on the outside with mirror finish, so they can't see me, and I can stand there and watch them. And squirrels try to get in. That's this little disc thing right here that I put up there so the squirrels can't get to the bird feeder. This is my scroll saw station. Over here is I used a 3/4 inch PVC into a 2x4. These are magnets across the front, so if I'm working on a project that's going to require different size blades, like a 2-aught spiral go to a 3 spiral or whatever. I can just stick them right there on the magnets and change blades. This is my iPad and iPhone. This is the station for it that sits right beside me. Magnifying light, my fan. Now in one of the other pictures over here on this side, there's a small blue fan that's in one of the other pictures. Matter of fact, I'll back up real quick. This is it down here in the corner. Let me go back. And this is it right here. And you see that, Charles?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What that does is, I'll go, whoop, wrong way. It blows air from this side over my shoulder, across the scroll saw, and into my other fan that collects the dust. So I do not wear a mask. I don't need a mask. My iPad and my iPhone sit right there, get no dust. I have tools on the other side of this fan, and all kinds of stuff on the other side of this fan, no dust. Matter of fact, my wife even has been in my shop and told me my shop has less dust in it than the house does.
Yeah, for those that don't know, he has an air filter strapped to the back of a box fan and that.
Yep, that's all. This is just a $20 box fan that I bought at Wally World, and I change them out just by. Now, I will tell you there's a difference. Don't buy the cheap filters. You want to buy the more expensive filters to collect the dust, and then you won't have a problem in your shop. And then it collects the dust because, like I said, there is a constant breeze across this way going into this fan, and then this fan is sucking and it takes care of it. This is what I used to clean my table with. This is a brush, a natural hair brush, and a hose that goes over. Then this is a 6-inch tube that's underneath my scroll saw for any of the dust that comes down. It will suck it up and take it out. Back in this area, you can barely see it, but right there is a dryer fan with a squirrel cage and the motor. I had an old dryer years ago that went bad and took the motor out of it with a squirrel cage and brought it in my shop. I just bored a hole right through the wall back over in here, and it blows right out into a flower bed right outside my shop. And so any dust off the table that falls down gets sucked into here. There is, I'm not going to lie to you, there is some dust that goes on the floor, but it's not that much. No big deal. I just have a shop vac that I pick it up with. And then when I get ready to clean my table, I put a T down here and brought it up to an 1.5-inch pipe, which this vacuum hose is hooked to. So I just take this, it's constantly on. So this is a power strip over here. When I flip the power strip on, the light comes on for my magnifying light, the fan comes on, it energizes my scroll saw and also the dryer motor down below to start the process. It is very quiet. Charles has actually heard this is running before, and me and him could sit there and have a Google Hangout and talk with my my system running. I can watch TV, I can hear everything really without any problem, and I sit on I built this bench to hold my, this is a Delta. I sit in an office chair, swivel, rolling office chair with no arms, scroll.
Well, I use a broom for dust collection. That's pretty quiet.
I'm serious. This little blue box right here, it's a shoe box. I use them a lot. It has parts, everything I need for my Delta. Extra rocker arm, extra bearings, all kinds of stuff that I purchased ahead of time, and all sitting in this little blue box ready to go. You can't see it over here as my spare blades, but I keep the blades in there. And I buy the Flying Dutchman. They have the little white tag with them, and I just stick them in the tube so I know what blades are in that tube. This is sitting at my scroll saw and looking forward so I can see the TV, and there's my stereo, and but I'm looking forward so I can sit here and scroll and watch TV or listen to music or whatever I want to do. This is the back half of my shop. There's my air conditioner. There's the most important part, my little refrigerator. My son-in-law works for Pepsi, and they do Starbucks, and somehow this just found its way to my house.
Funny how that happened.
Yeah. This is various other tools that I have, bolts and nuts and painting supplies down in here. This is my one of my 4 shop vacs. This is my smallest one that I keep here in the shop. Let's see. Now, this is my setup. This is where I'm sitting right now. This is my HP computer, and I'm sitting right here at the show. I have the other computer, the other laptop to my right that I check for YouTube questions. And I sit behind this HP, and so when you see me sitting here, this is where I'm at. Thought y'all might find that interesting.
Yes, sir.
And then this is the loft, half of the loft area for storage. A lot of this is Christmas decorations and stuff. I built this rocking chair for my daughter when she was 3 years old. It's broken, and it's in one of my to-do lists now to repair it and put it back so that she can use it.
10-4.
And then this is the I have this little bandsaw that I bought about 5 or 6 years ago, and I keep here in the interior part of the shop. You never know when you want to cut something, and rather than have to walk out there to the big bandsaw in the big shop, I can flop it up on this. And if you will notice, anybody recognize what this is? This is the stand that came with my Delta scroll saw. Came with a stand, a light, and a foot pedal. Well, I added wheels to the bottom of this. I mounted this bandsaw here, and this is also a portable sanding station. This is an old belt sander, 3-inch by a 10-inch or 12-inch or something, very small. But I flipped it upside down and mounted it. I use a C-clamp if we want to zoom in. A C-clamp. This is mounted to a board. I just put it up here and C-clamp it down. It holds great. Use it for sanding. This is a finger sander underneath here. I can take it up. I use bungee cord. Just pick it up, set it up here, put this down here, and I can use the finger sander. And this is a 1-inch disc or belt sander that I can mount up there also to sand. And I can just move this around the shop to wherever I need it or want it. So, and then one of the things that I'm doing to remodel, and I don't see the picture on here, I don't know why, is I purchased over on the right-hand side where I'm doing all the remodeling, which would be to the right of this refrigerator, is I bought I don't know why it's not on here. Let me see if I can look real quick. Oh, there it is right there. I bought this setup. Sheila Landry, she purchased this, and I read her blog all the time. I don't know if it's the identical one because she gets her stuff from Canada, or she's in Canada, and I don't know if she can get the same stuff we can. But anyway, she recommended, and I bought this. The box, it's a light box, and it's 30 inches by 30 inches. Actually 30 by 30 by 30. And it comes with the different backdrops that you can stick inside, plus the 1500 watt lights, stand-up lights. And the reason I'm cleaning out that other side and totally redoing is I'm going to have an area set up specifically to take pictures of my work. So it's just a matter of once I finish it, I just walk to the other side of the shop, set it inside this light box, flip a switch, all the lights will come on, and take pictures of it.
Yeah, Steve Good has a similar setup when he does his free patterns.
Yep.
When he's showing a picture of a and a lot of people put glass on the bottom to add reflection.
Right. So I'm doing that same thing. That's the reason I'm not showing the other side of the shop, because I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm anal retentive when it comes to my shop. I don't know if y'all noticed in some of the pictures, but I keep my shop kind of tidy and
I definitely don't.
and clean. So I mean, it's not. I can't eat off the floor, but I do keep it fairly tidy and clean and organized. So, but that's half of the scroll sawing side of my shop.
You got more?
No, yeah, no, I don't have any more.
Oh, I'll say, my God. Okay.
No, wait until I give a full tour. That's not even the outside where my bandsaw and table saw, three router tables, a chop saw. I mean, all the other big tools are out there. I built this. See, this was not actually supposed to be a wood shop in the beginning. We used to build race cars, and I had a construction company. And when the construction company when all the economy went down the tubes, I turned, and the race cars went out because as long as the construction company was what was feeding the race cars. So this shop was built to build engines for the race cars. So that's the reason the dust collection is so good in here, is to keep the dust down for building race car engines. So when we didn't build race cars anymore, I decided, well, heck, I got rid of all the race cars and turned everything into woodworking. All I basically did was take all my woodworking tools out of my woodworking trailer and brought them in here and set up a wood shop.
The Scott Marshburn in the Q&A section said only a fireman could come up with that kind of dust collection system.
Oh, do what?
Scott Marshburn in the Q&A section, he also goes by eCabinets Tips and Tricks. He said only a fireman could come up with that kind of dust collection system.
Yeah. I want to tell you, if you can buy them too. You can go to these used appliance places and tell them that you want the used dryer motor with a squirrel cage and everything. They are 10 times better than they're quiet. Matter of fact, hang on just 1 second. If y'all can y'all hear anything?
A little bit.
That's my dust collection system. It's on right now.
Yeah, it sounded like you flushed.
It did, didn't it?
Yep.
Okay, Russ, I don't mean to rush off, but we still got 2 more dudes in my little mess. Thank you for that. Dan in Pennsylvania, a.k.a. DWSSR2, says, my wife gave me the whole garage for my shop, about 10 by 25. I love spending time there with the tunes on, and it's very cold lately. My shop is constantly evolving. I think that's the story with most of us, except for in my case, I don't have near that much room. In the interest of going in order, Chase Noble, do you have anything to show us?
Yeah, actually, I forgot about the we're doing. If you want to do a screen share, we can do that. Let's see.
Okay, just so you know, your audio is still lagging, so hopefully it'll work with us while we're doing that.
All right.
Is that just a desktop, or do you actually have all that stuff?
No, I wish. All right, so let's move this out of the way. All right, so here's my. This is the back of my shop. It's not much. It's a 13 by 5-ish shop, so it's pretty small. So I really have to pack it in here. So over here is all the paint and everything like that. I do a lot of painting. I've got toolboxes up here, table saw. These 2 boxes over here are all hinges and knobs for different various whatever I can put it on. And then I've got a bunch of clamps, a tenoning jig up there, hand planer, and staining stuff. I post in corkboard over here. I post all the plans for what I'm doing. Then I got a power planer down there. We're going, so I was trying to get it done. I've got a lathe over here, which is relatively new. A little cheap thing. Sander. This is all hardware screws. Here's a lamp. Cutting board stuff. More. Those are all lamp templates up there. And here I am. This is where I'm sitting right now. So I've got an air compressor. Is French cleat mounted. The drill press. That's a scroll saw I use. It's a Delta 16-inch. And this is a bandsaw that I'm refurbing over here in the corner. And then I've got just a computer monitor up here, and I stream from a phone through the HDMI cable. And this is the door to my shop, and that's pretty much it.
Wow, that went much longer than Rick and Russ's tours.
Yeah, quick and simple. I don't have any room in the shop to keep wood at all, so I have lots of wood storage outside. So here's one of the cabinets I built just for wood storage. Next to this is a radial arm saw that I've got. And then here's another one that I built for wood storage, and that's all full. Here's another one, and these are all 1/4-inch MDF sheets, maple veneered MDF sheets, and some more plywood stuff there. And then I come up with a lot of scraps, so I end up giving these to the neighborhood kids. I think the scouts out here do a lot of stuff, so I'll have guys come pick them up, and they use them for projects and whatnot. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to show.
Alrighty, appreciate it. My God, I'm afraid to even mess with showing my shop, but I gotta go in order. Scott Sanders, do you have any kind of tour to show us? For what it's worth, you're muted.
Yeah, mine keeps flashing off. Yeah, I've got this is a real short film.
10-4. I'll present you to everyone.
I'll try and do the screen share here.
Alrighty.
Can everybody see that?
No, I can only see you. You must not have hit screen share. Or you must not have chosen what you're going to be sharing.
What do I...
You click on the screen share, and then you click on the upper left option, and then minimize that, and it should go to the screen you're sharing. Please stand by.
Yeah, because apparently I don't know what the hell I'm doing here.
We've still got 15 viewers. Bear with us, viewers. I'm the only one left.
I'll tell you what, Charles. Just go to you.
Okay, but everybody's going to regret that because I'm going to be the laughing stock of the scroll saw world like I pretty much already am. Russ, whatever you do, keep Mark Stallings muted during this tour because it's not going to be pretty. Love you, Mark. Just kidding.
I'll just kick him out if he says anything.
Okay, first thing I'm going to start doing, since I'm known for it, is spamming. I am running a special right now. I have made...
You are not presenting yourself, Charles. We're still on.
Blab it. When am I going to learn how to do this stuff? Okay, am I presenting now with the acid trip and everything? I don't hear anything. Am I presenting?
Yes, you are.
Yes,
okay,
you are. I'm sorry, I muted myself and forgot.
It's okay. It's quick spam. Well, it's useful spam, I hope. I've made 14 downloadable ebooks, various topics, but the main reason I'm coming here is because ordinarily they're $9.99 each. If you were to buy all of them at once, you'd be paying $140. But right now, you can get all 14 for $100, or you can get just 7 of them for $50, which is half the money and half the books, and you can pick which books they are. And you can see this on the main page of woodenvisions.com, which is my website, and this picture and explanation will come up. But I just wanted to throw that in real quick, and God, you're about to see this terrible, terrible, terrible shop tour. This is my name made out of wood. It's just a goofy little introduction I started. And next thing we're going to see is the Google Earth view of this is my house. But to give you an idea, this is where most people would have their shop, but the garage was turned into a dining room, and the computer room I'm sitting in, which I'm right about here right now, except I'm not actually on the roof, I'm down below it. Anyways, my shop is about like Chase Noble's. Mine's about 5 or 6 feet across, just because this is where the door is, and it's about 15 feet wide. And now, brace yourselves, because when I was putting up some cabinets on the upper half of my shop. And when I did that, a bunch of stuff came cascading down off the metal workbench I have. And so I just threw it back up there for the tour, so you're about to vomit, or at least crack up. Here we go. Yeah, see how organized it is. I got paint too, Chase, by the way. I'm a paint freak, or just a freak anyways. And anybody that saw one of the YouTube videos I did about the Stagecoach, that's a dry bit right there. That's what it's going to look like. That's without the wheels and crap put on it. I don't zoom in on it much. That's the base I did a long time ago in a video, and that's my cigarettes for all you that wonder where to... Yeah, never mind, that was stupid. I'm going to continue. You'll see me start pointing at stuff just to point that it is there. That's the cabinets I just put up with the French cleat system, and that was not easy because I got to go back a little bit. If it'll let me. Hello, go back, go back. I went back again. Okay, now this piece of wall right here is the only area I had to attach anything to, so that's why you'll notice the cabinets are so unlevel, because that's the only other piece of wall I have is right there, so that's the only place I can brace it on the bottom. Anyway, you'll start seeing me point at tools to prove that they actually exist, and that first one would be this compound miter saw that I'm pointing at. And again, I'm not usually that disorganized. It's mainly because everything fell off and I just threw it back in place, but yes, I am somewhat disorganized. But anyways, I'm pointing at a disc and belt sander, oscillating spindle sander, belt sander, and the 30-inch Excalibur back when it was purple. So it's not the newest thing in the world, but it still looks and runs like new. I'm trying to remember everything I was saying during this point. Probably pointing out that that's the other shelf I have. And right about here, I'm going to show you, I'll probably try to fast forward through these because of the length of some of the other tours, but what you're seeing here is a stack of wood I have. That's why you don't hear me talking about where I go buy my wood, because 9 times out of 10 I use this wood that I've had stockpiled for a while. And that's all about 3/16 to 11/64 thick. That was me showing you the width of the shop, which is about 15 feet. Once again, showing the very... I do have shelving underneath, but that needs organized too. The reason why you hear that tone in my voice is I am embarrassed showing this, but I asked everybody else to, and that's me pointing out the bloody wood. This will be more organized at some point. Yeah, Charlie, get away from this crap. Let's fast forward a little bit. Okay. This is the elusive Hegner scroll saw. It's an 18-inch. For those that are first time seeing this, don't know a clue what they mean by saying an 18-inch scroll saw. 18-inch means from the distance from the blade to the throat of the scroll saw. That's 18 inches. And I've just acquired a... Okay, never mind. I'm pointing out the roller stand right here and the other one over there. That's what I use when I have very large pieces that overhang the table. And I replace those with this roller table. And what you're looking at now is going to be 2 pieces that have been commissioned to be done. In case you can't tell, that is off of a Star Wars poster, so not every character looks exactly like they're supposed to, especially Han Solo right here. Anyway, that was commissioned first, and then the Hulk off to the left of it was commissioned a couple days ago. And that Hulk was about 2 feet tall, to give you an idea how big that Star Wars one is. That's the comic book version of the Hulk, not the one we remember when we were growing up. And at some point I'll have actually moved that Hulk to show you the actual scroll saw, so I'm going to fast forward a little bit so we can do that. I'll probably be moving it any second now. Yeah, that's the scroll saw. And on the morning show I was pointing out how Mark Stallings will probably laugh at the table for anybody that hasn't seen it. When I first got the saw, I did not know it was an aluminum table. I assumed it was cast iron because I'm an idiot. And I had wood on top of it, and I was drilling pilot holes. And I thought the table would stop the drill bit once I had gone through the wood. It did not, and you will see what that does to an aluminum table. That's me explaining the throat, which I did earlier. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. You're going to see me zoom in on the table and embarrass myself. Yeah, so this is my lovely, well-used table. This is why I'm very excited to get this new saw. See, back here is what the table's supposed to look like. Luckily, I don't do a lot of pilot holes drilling in the back half. But anyway, yeah, table still works. I never get caught up on it. But this saw is 14 years old, and the one I just bought is 3 years old. And it's also a 22-inch and minus an 18-inch. And because of its age, that's my ashtray. I don't know why you needed to see that, but what I'm showing you now is the switch. That was one of the casualties of it being so old, is I've got a short in the switch, so I can't keep it attached up in there. I gotta leave it out here because occasionally I gotta jiggle it. And that's what you're seeing me explain in the video. Sometimes I gotta jiggle it to make it start, and that's the power button I'm pointing at. Video's almost over, don't worry, you can, yeah. Yeah, those are my next two projects that I hope to get on so I can actually have some project videos coming out. And that's pretty much the end of my tour, and I'm very sorry you all had to see that. Okay, stop screen sharing, stop presenting to everyone, and by God, we've already gone over an hour. Oh, I'm still screen sharing. Alrighty, after all those other tours, I was afraid to show that, but in the interest of what I asked everybody else to do, we did it. We got 15 viewers. I thought we were going to lose a few, but luckily they stuck around to laugh with us. I guess everybody can unmute themselves and make a comment, make a request for future shows. Same with the viewers. Submit ideas for future shows because we're running out of them. Not that we can't think of them. You know, what the viewers want is what we want to put on the show. So if you have any questions, comments, requests, throw them up there, whether you be on the panel or whether you be on one of the viewers. But if you do want to say something, say your name so I'll know to put the camera on.
Hey, Charles Chaser.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
Charles, it's Mark.
Just
Go ahead, Chase.
Chase, okay.
All right, so I'm curious if anybody has had any experience. I came across, so I live next to a lot of mills where I'm at in Salt Lake City, and I came across old broken bandsaw blades, a lot of them. And so lately, I thought I'd just take a half hour or so and cut them all up into scroll saw blades. Now, I know that a lot of people like to take it easy on their scroll saw. It's kind of like their baby. Well, mine is more like the workhorse because I haven't had a bandsaw and I do a lot of flat work. So
Yeah.
I found I think they're probably 1/4 inch and 3/8 inch scroll saw blades. Well, bandsaw blades, but now they're scroll saw blades and they're just plain end. And I'm curious if I mean I have a ton of these. I have probably 150 that I've cut up. What if you think there's a market for this type of thing? Because this thing will cut through a 2x4 on my scroll saw like a bandsaw would.
Yeah, believe it or not, a lot of people have done that. I think that's a good idea. I just don't have any old bandsaw blades laying around, but those are 5 inches long, and your scroll saw can take flat end blades, and that'll most definitely work. I don't mean to jump away from you, Chase, but number one, Mark has something to say. But Mark, before you go, got two things in the Q&A. Dan in Pennsylvania says, how about a special guest for Intarsia? And I have been trying to get Intarsia people on here on an Intarsia group, and I have Jeanette Square is unable to get internet access on weekends because of where she goes on the weekends. So we may have to specially schedule a weekday one to get her on, but I have been in the works trying to get somebody that does Intarsia in here. Stevie Rogers says, I missed the live show this morning, but after watching the YouTube video, I'm sure Charlie's shop looks bigger and tidier. Boy, I didn't know it got much worse than mine, so I feel sorry for you, Stevie. Thank you. Mark Stallings, what did you want to say, sir? Really? Now, he'd be there if this wasn't live.
Yeah, really.
Okay, we're gonna try. I'm gonna just say, okay, we got 17 viewers while we're waiting to see if Mark comes back. If you have any requests for future shows, requests for people you don't want on the panel like myself.
I'd just like to put that out there that I would love to see people put some input into things that they would like to see for future shows. Scroll sawing, I mean, it's a fantastic hobby, but we're very limited as to what we do, so we need people to come up with some suggestions to help us out, because I don't think we can do a year's worth of videos without some help.
Yeah, and the main reason being because we're not all beginners, so we don't know what beginners want to know. We may look past that inevitably. Thank you for that, Russ, but Rick held up his hand, so I believe he wants to say something.
I've got a quick video on scroll saw blade storage.
And for?
Sure.
Alrighty, let's do that, and then we'll probably close the show after that if nobody else has anything to say. We have 15 viewers, and you are screen sharing, and we can see you.
Okay, let's see. I got to get the sound off. Okay, this is my blades rack that I put my roast blades in, and as you can see, I've got it all marked. I've probably got about 50 gross of blades in that. My spray adhesive I keep over the top of that, and this sits kind of right in front of my scroll saw. Then I've got the small tubes with all the blade numbers on them of the blades that I normally use, and this sits right up over my scroll saw. I think I kind of zoom out and show where this sits in relation to my saw. I've got pretty good assortment of blades there. On the saw itself, this is up above is a squirrel cage blower fan that I can use for dust collection. I put a board with magnets on it to hold saw blades that I'm using, and there's the blade rack, and then my saw is right below it. I thought I zoomed down. Okay, I guess I didn't zoom down any more to it.
It looks like you and Russ have a lot in common.
That's the way I do mine.
All right, thank you, sir. So you and Russ both do the magnet thing. You and Russ both have a very good assortment system. I just have 2 test tubes because I just use 2 different size blades. Mark Stallings came back with us. And did you have something you wanted to say earlier, Mark? Before you got knocked out?
Yeah. One thing I would like to see would be 3D cutting and 3D pattern making.
Okay, that would be known as compound cutting, and I think that's what Edgar Natras was just saying too in the Q&A. So I know Diana Thompson does or did compound cutting. I could try to get with her, but I don't know if she'd be willing because I don't know about her health. I don't know if she's willing, but I will try to get with her. But I know she is one of the top names in compound cutting designing. But as far as methods, we might be able to find a few people that can do that. But thank you for that request. We still have 16 viewers, but unless we get any questions or recommendations or requests, then it will probably close out the show. We went over almost an hour and a half now. I did not realize the shop tours would take that long. That's not a dig on anybody. I'm just, wow, wow. I just found out I had 2 fathers on this show. That's kind of eye-opening. Okay.
You don't give me the camera for a while because I can just go on and on and on.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know if anybody would watch a 5-hour show. I appreciate it, Russ. I'm giving you and Rick heck because I'm very envious of what y'all got. And
his son, the Marine, would.
Submarine would. Oh, Lord. Anyway, folks, we appreciate you watching. And there again, not all of us are beginners, so sometimes we look past what beginners would want to know. So your feedback really is important to the show, it continuing on, because we may not always think of what beginners want to know. Edgar Nancher says, good show, guys. Thanks for showing off your shop. Thank you very much for that, Ed. Dan in Pennsylvania says, enjoy the show. Thank you, everybody. And thank you, Dan, for participating, as well as everybody else that participated. And unless anybody else has some kind of soapbox they want to jump off of and start saying stuff, and I guess we're going to close out the show. It's 8:57 my time. Anyway, we love you. We appreciate every one of y'all viewing. We wouldn't do the show without you. Otherwise, we'd just be doing a hangout. Stevie Rogers says, another great show, guys. Thank you, Stevie. Russ Meadows says, I just got here. Did you go over how to price items? No, I did not, Russ. We had a full... we went over on time based on that was a request I got earlier by Russ Meadows. Wanted to know how to price items. So, Russ, help me remember that. We will put that in the next show. I promise you, Russ.
We'll put it in the next show. I'll write it down right now.
Okay, we're going to put that in season 1, episode 15. And I apologize, Russ. We flat just ran out of time and topics. We had actually 2 other topics, so we wouldn't have been able to get to that anyway. So we can add those next. I don't know what the hell we're going to do next week, but I know we'll include that since you brought that up earlier. I apologize. But thank you both of y'all for your feedback and questions. Okay, so yeah, now officially an hour and 28 minutes going on the show. I'm going to go ahead and close it out and just let everybody know thank you very much on the panel. We had Chase Noble, John Schaffner, a.k.a. Santa, Mark Sherman, Mark Stallings, my dear father, Rick Hutchison, my dear second father, Russell Clarity, and Scott Sanders, out of some weird name, something in Oklahoma, and me, Charles Deering. Y'all just remember, please do not scroll naked, especially because it's too cold, and scroll on.